Vigilante Wednesday here with the 22nd episode of my show, the Vigilante Wednesday Show. It is January 11th, 1/11 for the Dilla fans. Monday, 1/11 or January 11th. I hope everyone's having a blessed evening, blessed time, or blessed afternoon, morning, whatever time of day it is on your part of the planet. I hope it's blessed. And whatever platform that you're watching me on, hell, Parrot Head, hell, appreciate you showing up so early. This is sort of unstructured, sort of impromptu. I am going to be on with Comics Division later. So that's gonna be fun. I think he said around 9 Central, so it's 10 Eastern. So we'll be there. And this is just, I'm not sure how long I'll go. I just wanted to give sort of my thoughts and sort of my directions, not my direction, but where I'm going with this channel. And it's really nothing, despite saying I'm retiring from politics or whatever, because I am not going to really talk about the hardcore politics. I don't want to sound like a crazy man. And I'll give that explanation a little bit further. But things are really not going to change. And I am a lot less discouraged personally by a lot of the craziness that's going on. I mean, the censorship doesn't impact me. I've only been back on social media since I've been back being a channel. I guess Fairhead caught my flub. Not only are you a superhero, but you are a time traveler as well. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. But it's not going to impact me. I'm probably one of the least impacted people by this. I only had social media for this. I'm actually going to, out of anger, like I was parked on Instascam. I'll just delete it. I'll never use it anyway. I don't want to use anything for Google and Facebook that I don't have to. I'm keeping the Twitter only until everyone that I keep in contact with through this YouTube has migrated to either Gab or Minds. I'm now on both. I'm just gonna move on. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be harder for a lot more people. I understand if people have businesses that they still have to keep some of this stuff going. And I'm going to keep my YouTube until it's yeeted. But I'm not really that pressed. And I'm going to grow with all these other platforms. I think for someone like me, this could be a great opportunity because I get to grow with a platform. I get to potentially be the guy, be the PewDiePie of Odyssey or whatever. You know what I mean? Or whatever that platform becomes or is, if it's BitChute or if it's Rumble or if it's something that hasn't been made yet. And it will take time. But I think a lot of people, I understand the shock and awe. I understand being kind of upset at things. But you kind of have to like take a chill pill, relax. There's a lot of positive in what's happened. There's negative, obviously. But there's too many people who think contrary to the conventional narrative, and all they've done is create more people, and all they've done is mainstreamify finding alternatives. Twitter will be MySpace because Twitter was already going to be MySpace based upon the free market in 2015 if the Orange Man didn't come along. You know what I mean? The free market was already MySpace and Twitter. Twitter was never that relevant of a social network platform at all. Let's be honest. Let's turn the clock back at how social media worked. Remember MySpace? And then everyone got on Facebook because MySpace became old. And then Twitter came out, and Twitter was inauthentic because celebrities came out with Twitter. And it didn't really have that much of a reign before Instascam came and took its thunder. But it still just kind of carried on. It just carried on. It was never the big platform because then Instascam, then Crap Chat and TikTok, all these other platforms came to replace it. So Twitter was never that big. I felt like the only people who kept Twitter always had a cult-like following. I remember when I first tried to get in the tech industry and all these people had Twitter. I thought they were weird. Like, who has a Twitter? In 2015, 2016, who has a Twitter? But they all hated the Orange Man. I'm apolitical, and I've gone back to being purely apolitical because, I mean, I think the Orange Man is control ops, and I know a lot of people are going to say, what, your mask is too tight. That's why I don't even have it on right now. Doing the Rick Ross thing. Hell, Kate, Rowan Ginger Raven. I like new things. I wanted them for a long time. Yeah, that's another thing. Outside of the politics, man, I think a lot of these platforms had staled up anyway. Facebook is staled up anyway. How easy is it? Like, I haven't had a Facebook since 2014, and it has not really impacted me. Anybody I'm really close with, I can contact via phone. They have Discords and stuff. Like I've been able to still meet people online through Reddit and Discord and even YouTube and there's all these different ways that I've still been able to network with people, find new people, do all the things that you can do with social media without a Facebook. It's not necessary. I think a lot of other people who have not lived like that for a long time are scary, but I've been used. This is what I'm used to. So being without a social media, and the reason I'm bringing this up is I think people just have to, okay, you don't want us there, we're gone. We're gone. We have to start deleting shit. I'm going to get a Proton Mail and start migrating my email over to Proton Mail. Fuck Gmail. I'm already for doing this channel, I'm already using Brave and DuckDuckGo anyway because Google is already been suppressing stuff. So a lot of stuff when I do my research, I'm using Chrome because of the way Streamlabs works. I know it's a little bit inside baseball, but what I end up doing is going on Google or not Google, going on Brave, going on DuckDuckGo, the browsers too, not just the whatchamacallit, the browsers and the search engine, but the actual browsers, and looking up the stories and then copying and pasting them into the Chrome so I can then share the screen. I am not actually using Google Chrome to do the research because it's not even a reliable tool anymore because of the censorship already implemented. So I'm already in these platforms don't even realize what the fuck they're doing because they don't realize they think they're all powerful. That's what happens when they're egotistical. They were dying prior to the Orange Man, exactly, and now there's no Orange Man to kill. I'm ready to get rid of him. I think him gone is actually a blessing in disguise. I know a lot of people don't. Facebook will be QVC in a year. Wow. LMAO. So that's my business, though. You know what? What is your business, Kate? You mentioned it once. I have a memory akin to Dory from Finding Nemo. I like Brave. I was surprised. Yeah, Brave is cool. But I mean, hey, I figure there are so many different ways. You have a YouTube channel. Try to market through that. Try to market through everybody who's in the Phantom Menace. And I mean, still use Facebook. Still use everything. Virtual interior design. I see. Still use every single platform that's available. If you can use YouTube, come up with a channel just for that. YouTube is still valuable for now. And if you're doing something neutral, keep doing something neutral. I think I'm getting too hot. Now I mean, like, I'm talking about the mic is too hot. Turn myself down. Hell, just another red shirt. You're not just another red shirt. You are the red shirt. And I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you being here. This is my All Is Not Lost podcast, man. All is not lost. This is not. I'm going to read something I said into the. I was in one of the Discords. I think it was Jake D's Discord. Let me actually get it up. We were talking about everything that's going on. And I know I'm kind of being vague. Like I hate doing that, assuming you know what's happening. But part of it is I don't even know everything that's happening. I just know Parler's been destroyed by big tech. Everything they've done all they can to destroy Parler, and they're trying to do censorship, and they're trying to justify a bunch of crazy shit. I know that there's supposedly a protest at Twitter, and even. I didn't see the video. I actually don't watch much Salty Cracker, but I saw the thumbnail. It implies that there's not only going to be a protest at Shitter's headquarters, but they are already aware that there is going to be some Antifa involvement there, as there was on Wednesday. And I don't give a fuck what the mainstream media says. But all is not lost as I'm Boomer looking for. All right, I found it. So this is what I said just the other day. Because I was talking about, basically they've created Comicsgate with 74, 80 million people, but instead of comics, they're going to come up with Twitters, with Gabs, with Minds. I know how to code. So a bunch of people will be looking for platforms. And as Kate just said, I can get to the comment, Parler will be back in a month or so. No big deal. Gab did it too. Exactly. So she said true because of the delay. I'm not sure what she said is true, but it's comics. First I said it's going to be Comicsgate with like 80 million people, more than 80 million people, right? One element that is not often talked about. We always talk about rebellious teenagers. Well, a lot of teenagers are going to rebel from their woke ass parents. So that's the funny thing, because my generation now has kids that are in high school, right? So now my woke ass older millennials All those motherfuckers are gonna have kids that are like, I don't want to listen to this crazy bullshit. I want the cool thing. I'm gonna get on Parler. That's why Parler, all these platforms, the last thing you need to be worried about is politics. Ari July is right. This is a culture war. This is a culture war. That's where my job is. I'm not fighting the politics war. Fuck it. You win. I'm fighting the culture war. She says good point. I do not know what point was good, but thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not going to fight the politics war because I think it's all control ops. At best, with the orange man, if you don't want to go down the exozone route with me, you have to at least say that he used people. He used a lot of people and set them up by being like, if he would have had barricades, he would have saved them. How can everybody on earth know what's up except him? And then he's at the same time he's Jim Gordon. He's the last honest man in Gotham. I'm not the one who believes it. I'm not the one who buys it. I'm just not the one. And maybe it's my paranoid. Maybe it's the West Side of Detroit for me. And even when I was a little kid, some old white lady stole our checks. I learned not to trust anybody on earth. That's what I learned. So I don't trust anybody. So maybe that's me. But I don't think the orange man going away, he's not going away. But I don't think having the orange man as an avatar is beneficial anymore. I don't think we need an avatar. I think decentralization needs to be the thing. They want an idea, we'll give them an idea. So she was talking about the Commons Gate point. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who want to create their own platforms. And I'm one of them. I already wanted to well before I wanted to do vigilante ways, and believe it or not. I want to get a programming job, get some more experience with it, and hopefully create my own platform. But maybe I'll skip the first part. Currently, at this moment, I guess I'm 100% Antifa. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, I guess Ruth Korean. He's welcoming our communist overlords. I don't think they'll be overlords. The left will eat their own. And it'll be hilarious if this idea of Antifa gets the idea of doing what they did last week. I don't think it'll be old ladies waving flags in the Capitol. I know obviously there was some Antifa involved. Again, I don't give a fuck what the mainstream media says. That's not to absolve anyone who wasn't Antifa who still caused violence. Listen, I said this on the channel a while ago before the Fandom Menace found me at the Nerd Riding Mobile trying to steal the hubcaps and steal the wheels like I was Jason Todd. But I used to say, I want to prevent a world war. Try saying that 3 times fast. Prevent a world war. Prevent a world war, a civil war, and a race war without throwing a punch. Now, can I prevent those things? No, but I could potentially de-escalate them from my vantage point to the best of my ability. I'm just one guy, right? But I don't think violence is even necessary, man. That may sound crazy, but I don't think it is necessary. But I don't think everybody's going to realize that. I think a lot of people are going to have to figure that out the hard way, unfortunately, and I wish it wouldn't happen. But what's going to happen when the left starts eating their own in that way? They want a one-party system. I mean, the Republicans are done. I think we can all agree on that. So, okay, we get years to the people are going to have to do more. You're going to have to take that individual effort to anytime you can shut big tech out of your life, go ahead and do it. And somebody said, Bearhead said, Parler is suing Amazon. I forgot to bring up that point, which is good. You're going to have to put in that effort to, okay, you know what? I'm going to delete my, unless you need it. If you need your Facebook for your business, Kate, keep doing it. You know, if you need your Facebook to keep in touch with people, keep doing it. But if you can say, you know what, all this drama on social media, I'm going to take a break. Let me just get your phone number if I don't have it, and we'll keep in touch that way. There's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with getting off of social media, deleting your Facebook, deleting your Twitter, deleting your Instagram. If you can, you know, if you can't, that's fine. That's fine. There's no problem that you got to make money. You have to live. But I think a lot of people are going to get off of those platforms outside of politics, outside of, I have a political slant and I'm offended. A lot of it's like, I just don't want to deal with this shit. Let me see. Never know where I'm welcome anymore. You're welcome here, Raven Star Claw. Everyone's welcome here. I'm against fascists, though. Suppression is fascism. Are you truly communist? Is that a joke or not? I'm not sure. Because if you're against fascists before communism, I'm lost. Because those become one and the same, whether they're supposed to or not. Because as you can see, this communist overlord stuff, is fashion. I'm assuming that I assumed that it was a joke. The welcomes are fascists or welcomes are kindness overlords. And 100% Antifa thing, but I don't know. Maybe you are. If you are, whatever. Everybody's being played. If you believe in a political party, if you root for a team, I root for the Lions. I know they're going to lose every year, right? But if you root for one of these political sports teams, they're playing you. I don't care if you think, oh, I'm going to, I hate the establishment Dems or I hate the establishment Republicans. No, totally joking. Cool. I just want to make sure, bro. I just got to make sure, man. Because you never know nowadays. And just another red shirts welcoming and Helen Raven Star Claw. Cool. Who's half evil, the 333, half evil. But yeah. No, why the worst football team? I'm from Detroit. I love my city, even though I don't live there. It's another thing with politics, man. I want to buy a house outside of all this. I want to buy a house. I'm trying to buy a house in Texas. That's where my brother is. But there's a part of me, I love my home city no matter what. And it's sad to see, like, man, people got this perception of Detroit. But when I grew up, it was just, it was still, like, I couldn't tell how fucked up it was because I was a kid and shit. But, like, I just loved it. But it got so much worse since. And it's, like, sad. Like, when you could ride I could ride my big wheel around the block when I was a kid, and now that same block is like tore up, and like the house near mine is tore, and like even my old house, it's just like fucked up. So I was like, I literally can't go back home type shit. Like I can, but it's like the city is just demolished by politicians. And it's funny, I was actually thinking, some of y'all may have heard of him. He was the former mayor of Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick, but he's going on to be the most influential politician of this century so far. He's the most influential politician. See, that's cool. See, you hate where you from. I love where I'm from. That's the thing. That's cool. I hate where I'm from. I love where I'm from. I love Detroit, man. I wish I could go back. Just do it. Just do it. If you're tired of giving up, or you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Just do it. Seattle used to be a beautiful city. Cool. I'd never been to Seattle. I remember when I was younger. Like I said, I tried to do the tech thing. I didn't get a degree. I went to one of these coding boot camps and then, taught my stuff on YouTube, even put out a fucking little mobile game and shit. But I wanted to get in the tech industry. I wanted to move to the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if y'all know about the damn there's a thing where and I think in Portland, Oregon, and on the other side it's Washington, and you can play the tax game if you live on one side and work in the other. Where it's like I think one doesn't have taxes, the other doesn't have sales tax, so you can shop in one. I can't remember where it was, but I had all this planned out in my head. But right now, as a black man in America, the Pacific Northwest is the most dangerous place I could be. The Pacific Northwest is the most dangerous place I could be. I literally rather be in Mobile, Alabama, and that's having been to Mobile, Alabama semi-recently. And there's a fucking Confederate flag right outside that bitch. Literally. And I'd rather be there than the Pacific Northwest, and I am not bullshitting. I am not bullshitting at all. That's how crazy this country has become, man. But it doesn't have to be. We still have a lot more power than we give ourselves credit for, and it's just we have to exercise it in the small ways that we can, and if we can do bigger, do bigger. Like I said, I'm not going to be hardcore politics. I'm not going to, I'm not going to do the Kyle Rittenhouse type videos where I break shit down. So Houston, Texas is in my future, not the city proper, but somewhere in the area, maybe, depending on what goes on. Hey, depends on what happened with this whole Vigilante Wiz thing. I'm trying to do music too. I had the potential to grow with a platform. They've all the tech. They've got all the tech. Yeah. Oregon has no sales tax, and Washington will tax it to the grave and then tax your family. Yeah. So I think Oregon has no sales tax, but the city in Washington has like lower taxes. I can't remember what it was. There was a scam, but they got all the tech for now. They've just mainstreamified that destruction. They've just set themselves up. Does anybody remember Obi-Wan Kenobi? Strike me down and I'll be more powerful than you could ever imagine. Man, they don't understand that concept. That's the problem. So I'm not worried about the long term. The short term is gonna suck. But so many people now now hundreds of millions of people don't trust the government in a very fundamental way. Hundreds of millions of people don't trust the media in a very fundamental way. Yes, there's still hundreds of millions of people who do, or 100 million, whatever. But so many people are, oh, this is a complete shit show. And now the fact that the media is a shit show is now mainstream. The fact that your government's a shit show is now mainstream. So being anti-government is now normalized. So that's why when Ripper's talking about like decentralization, that's something that could realistically happen. But cooler heads need to prevail, and the regular people, me and you, need to stop rooting for these teams. Kate was making fun of me rooting for the Lions. You know why? They're the worst football team. Hell, in the shout out to football. Shout out to the Bills and the Browns. They're the team similar to the Lions. But why are you rooting for them? That's my question to you. Why are you rooting for these politicians? Why are you rooting for any of them? Even the Orange Man. Why are you rooting for them? You don't. They are employees of you, to believe it or not. I talked about it in one of these podcasts with Tulsi Gabbard and fucking Ted Cruz, man. And now Tulsi Gabbard, apparently she's not even a congresswoman anymore. She gave up the seat. So you know why she gave up the seat? So she can work for the Blaze and fuck Tim Pool. That's why that's her old goal, is just to be a celebrity. Just like fucking Ted Cruz. He just wants to be Ted Pool. Ted Cruz just wants to be Tim Pool so he can fuck Tulsi Gabbard. And Tim Pool is just trying to get enough bitches and resources that he can finally live in that van and go down by the river and not give a fuck about any of it. And I'm trying to live like him too. But these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about you. They all got their own agendas. Like I said, I could go Exozone with the Orange Man, or I could say, hey, he still just let a lot of people look stupid for no reason. And now they got fucking old ladies holding flags in the goddamn Capitol trying to call it a siege. And they mainstreamifying that. And they're fucking trying to, oh no, Ruth Korean got my first forced COVID vaccine shot. I'm so sorry, brother. Please let us know if your RNA and your DNA changes and you become a mutant. Or all of a sudden, I've heard all sorts of crazy shit. Like you can stop believing in God. Like I've heard all sorts of conspiracy theories. So if any conspiratorial crazy shit happens to you, Ruth Korean, let us know. And hell, just another red shirt. Got to go to Dinner Bells Run. Please go eat. Enjoy the food. Kate says they do not get Spartacus, and she is a socialist. Yeah, everybody gets all. I call her the moderate white fool. She has the rogue thing going on. And I mean, not to be, a toxic male, that does impact how a lot of people perceive her. Trust me. And all these just don't worship politicians. They're not for your best interest, man. Even if they say things you agree with, don't worship them. Rock with them when they say things you agree with, and don't when they don't. And it's about time they realize who they work for. That's why, as much as they spin a lot of that bullshit of what happened, and I'm not encouraging any violence, but protests, we have the right to protest. We still have the right to protest. And shit, Orange Man can put together all these fucking, the reason I'm so upset at him is in the same way I don't believe that somebody who had nobody show up at their rallies and Biden got as many votes as he did. I don't believe that somebody who could organize, 3 or 4 rallies in 3 or 4 states in a day and fly around the country and get everything organized to that extent couldn't put up a few fucking barricades just to prevent a fucking trap by the media, and could be so unaware that the trap was even happening when everybody on earth knew what was going on. I just have a hard time believing that. And it's easier to believe that somebody who, people talk about, oh yeah, before 2015, nobody said he was racist. You know what else they didn't say before 2015? I mean, they also didn't say he wasn't an establishment, because he was established. He was a rich motherfucker who was friends with the Clintons. And I covered that in the previous episode. So don't act like it's totally beyond the pale. And also remember that the government has never been closer to the Insurrection Act, has never been closer to another Patriot Act. We've never had much fascism as we've had. We've never had as many crazy policies, and a lot of that has been because of the boogeyman of the Orange Man. So to say it's completely beyond the pale, I'm sorry, it isn't. You don't have to go in the exozone with me, but you can at least admit there's been a lot of negative of him, even if a lot of negative from him, even if you like him. And even Kate agrees. Yep, exactly. And in general, I'm done with the Fed, the federal government, the Fed, all of it. I think a succession will happen at some point. And rather than not, this is there's been a lot of foreign influence. I mean, I'm pretty sure it has. Because we know a lot of people are in the pocket of Beijing. We know that, including who involved with this platform. And just like my avatar, you get what you fucking deserve. They think that we're just gonna roll up. It's like, no, we're just gonna find a new platform. Oh, AWS. Okay, so now we'll just create new server standards. So now you'll have in the next year or two, there will be an AWS competitor who's going to be free speech oriented and alt tech oriented, and they'll make a lot of money. And there'll be a lot of people trying to come up with their alt tech thing. Okay, there we go. Not a Trump person, never was. Yeah, I never really was either. And I went back and I did a video. I went back in my old channel or older videos, how I go, showing my little Trump, getting into Trump. And it was like the character Vigilante Williamson didn't trust Trump, but the guy playing him did for some reason. And that's what happened with me. Because like I knew it, but I just didn't realize I knew it. Since I was being forced, I used my passive aggressive sense of humor to compare the guy from CBS to Joseph Mengele, and he just nodded. I think he got nervous when I wrote down his name. Wow. What made them force you? Was it like work? God damn. Because I don't know. I think, am I correct that you're in Canada, Ruth Korean? God, that's the thing that scares me about this fucking thing. I don't want to take that fucking vaccine. I'm willing to die on that hill. And I'm hoping that I can still work from home. I hope they don't try to get my ass back in this office. Because I don't want to deal with those motherfuckers anyway. That's crazy. But yeah, I wasn't a Trump person either, Kate. I just, I like lower taxes, taxation and stuff. So anything that lower taxes, you got my ear. And I mean, there's so many communist policies from the socialist left, but he's a socialist too. He's a fucking socialist, which is why controlled opposition is plausible. I'm sorry. And I wish that could be mainstream. The potential that he's controlled opposition, because I don't think the people realize how much more powerful they would be without him. I think a lot of us have seen the meme where he says, they're not after me, they're after you, and I'm in the way. I think it was the other way around. I think people thought he was protecting us from them. I think he was protecting them from us. Oh man. Yeah, work related. Socialist Peoples of Republic of Massachusetts, and I work in healthcare. And I have a sister who's working in healthcare, and I know that's going to come for her too. A friend of mine was forced. She's a pharmacist, though. I'm glad I didn't work in healthcare, man. He's definitely a prog, just not the popular kind. Yeah. He's that kind. And I mean, I think when you say control opposition, some people think, like I scream Illuminati, and a lot of it is, but it's like that doesn't really work how we sometimes imagine it works. They argue with each other all the fucking time, and they use us as proxies in that war. They use us as proxies all the time. I just feel like he sold his people out. I felt that way a long time, man. It's not just this. I felt that way every time a Trump supporter would get knocked the fuck out at a rally. And it's just like, man, all these motherfuckers are getting their ass beat and having their lives fucked up to support him. You know what I mean? That's a fucked up thing to watch. And, a lot of people had the perception all Trump supporters are crazy, psychopath, or whatever. And they just got tons of fuel. But I saw a bunch of people who really cared about this country, who really looked at him as an American first president, which to an extent he was. He was an American first guy. But like, They really believed in him. They really bought into him, and man, there's a reason the Bible tells you not to have idols, because you there's a reason the first commandment is, to not keep any other gods but me, as far as God. It's not just to keep the God of the Bible, but when you put something on a pedestal, it can only let you down. And I don't even think people have realized, to the extent that Trump has let them down, or to the extent that they're powerful without him. But I get what you mean. Yeah, we need to lead the system. To the extent that we can, we need to lead the system. The healthcare, that's sad that you're reinforcing the healthcare system. I'm trying to find other little side hustles. I'm gonna hopefully find side hustles through being vigilante wins, anything outside of it. I'm trying to get into other things. I work a regular job, but I've been trying to get out the corporate world for fucking ever. I've been trapped in this motherfucker. I've been trying to get out the corporate world since I got into it. Because I don't make that much. It's not like a great corporate job. It's good enough, though. I'm able to pay my bills. I'm blessed. You know what I mean? I'm happy. I've been in the worst. Man, I come from nothing. Trust me, man. So I'm happy to have a job. But yeah, to the extent that we can, we have to try to lead the system, and we have to starve these big tech companies. We can. All these companies can be MySpace, and even Google can be AskG's. Google can be Yahoo in a quick second. Trust me. I'm already using Brave. I'm already using DuckDuckGo. As is. That really got their attention. They were embarrassed in their own house and had their own pool in their faces. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. But yeah, it's one thing I haven't really mentioned is the channel. I mean, I have sort of, but yeah, I'm not gonna be as hardcore with the politics because of my takes. I mean, that's not to say I won't talk about them at all, and I will be hardcore with the culture war, because I think that's where this is one. This is one with the long game. There's too many people who have learned to become puppets because of social media, who have learned to worship whatever is popular, and to be scared of being thought of as different. And because of which they just follow along for anything. And as a result, and that's because of the culture they were raised in. They were raised in, social media always exists. I need likes, so I need to do what gets likes. What gets likes is what the mob wants, what the group wants. And that's kind of, people have lost their individualism over the past 10 years plus, or create this fake individualism for the view of others and for the perception of others. So I think the pendulum needs to swing from a cultural standpoint from that to being more individualistic, and not in a selfish way. There still can be collectivism. There could be like, I've joked about the fandom menace commune or something like that, where people come together. I think a lot of this is going to be people coming together. We're going to have to come together for a lot of these platforms. I'm going to, probably put money towards, I think Gab has a little donate thing. Try to put money towards them, and BitChute and all these platforms. It might be much, $5-10, whatever you can put. That's something we need to do. We're going to have to come together, but we're going to have to stop letting the collective lead us, and be more self-sufficient and more outside the system as much as possible, and as much as realistically possible. We're humans, and we have to live at the same time. My small form of protest. I refuse to put my health insurance information. There's a line for people who don't have insurance to have CVS bill the Fed for the vaccine. So yeah, at least do that. Like, at least you don't have to pay for it, or have your insurance pay for it. Like, nope, you guys, fuck it. It's demon shit. Why are we forcing people? Why are we forcing people to take a vaccine that has a 95% effective rate for a disease that has a 99% survival rate? Because the world's ran by evil people. It is sad when the thoughts are more honest than most others on social media. So I don't even get on social media to know what the thoughts is talking about. So communes are inherently collectivism. I guess that's true. Not inheritance. And I mean, maybe collectivism, just coming together. A lot of these isms and fucking, like, we're just fucking people. A lot of it is just we're fucking people, and people just human. I may have also left off the phone number for the governor's office as my my contact info on the trace card. Good for you. Fuck them. Fear. Fear. So I guess that's what the thoughts are talking about. But yeah, hopefully people will become less dependent on social media from a psychological standpoint. I got off social media. It was a psychological thing. I've had depression my entire life. I still have it. That's another thing that I deal with that impacts the channel. And it's impacting my weight. I got a lot of personal things going on, but that's neither here nor there. But because of how depressed social media makes me, I'm like, I can't use this. I'm going to hurt. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I stopped using it a long time ago. And on top of it, and you're right, community is probably a better term. Community is probably a much better term than commune. We have to be a community. But I'm like, okay, it's not healthy. And then not only that, I never liked social media from its onset. It was never something for me. I'm not a cool person. You know what I mean? I'm not somebody that I can like keep coming up with pictures and shit to say every day. Just make all social media does is make me feel worse about life and being alive. So I'm like, I'm not going to use it. So I haven't used it for a while. Even, since I've gotten it back doing this channel, I don't get on it unless it's something like I'm contacting somebody or something, and I'll check it for like a second. So I get on it like twice a week, 3 times a week, or like when just right before I know, oh, okay, I'm about to stream with such and such, I need the link. That's like my use of social media. So it's not something that's a part of my life that I'm leaving behind. I get it that for some people it absolutely is, but you either care enough to do it or you don't. And that's, I'm saying that for the people who can. If it's your job or you have too many people to contact where okay, I can't just do the number, exchange numbers to get in contact, stay in contact with them. I get it. But if you can, you have to. And even for that, a lot of that, you can say, man, I just don't want to see all this negativity anymore. This past year's been rough on everybody. I don't need any more negativity in my life. I think a lot of people will respect that and understand that. I think the more you can de-emphasize big tech from your life, the less powerful they become. And I think that's the most necessary thing for people to do. As far as the events of last week, I kind of said my piece on that. And like I said, this channel will still do culture war. It'll just be less of hardcore politics and a lot hardcore politic events. If there is an exception, probably BLM, because I hate them. But that's an example of, again, something that, like, man, let these people hang themselves. Before I would have a tough time coming up with an argument to another black person. Why don't you like BLM? Even though there was black people who didn't. And it would be a conversation. Now I could just say, oh, they got $10.6 billion and then give it to their chapters. I have a sentence and they can just, oh, okay. I don't need to go on and I'm not going to be called a con. One sentence of shit that they did themselves is enough for me to explain why I don't like them. The left will give you something they'll give you a sentence if they haven't already. Oh, it's this. Okay. You don't have to go through histrionics. You don't have to be in this war worlds. You don't have to like hold water for the orange man if you don't want to. You don't have to let people know you hold water for the orange man if you do. You can just say a couple of sentences. That's it. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to leave a lot of these idiots behind. A lot of these idiots were ready to get left behind anyway. And if there's somebody who doesn't want to be your friend anymore because of some politician, like at first I would say try to salvage that friendship and say, listen, these are people who we don't even know and we're yelling about this is stupid. But if you can't, then fuck them. I mean, good Lord, who is not going to be your friend because you don't like their team? That's crazy. I enjoy connecting online. I always have, and I don't have a lot of negative experience online. That's good. That's good. I enjoy connecting online too. I have some negative experiences online. But that's not so far as vigilante ways, just in general. That's just life though. I mean, they're not negative experiences because online, just negative experiences because it's just life. But I've had, tons of positive experiences. I met a lot of people doing this. I'm not going to be stopping. If I get yeeted, another blessing, I've worked to the point where people kind of know who I am. I got a shout out the other day on the fucking Inquisition. It actually didn't result in any fucking subs, but it was still cool. And I think Doomcock has shouted me out too. So I'm like, wow, they kind of know I'm super chatting and shit. And so that means like, okay, if I get yeeted, I can send one of them a super chat and just say, hey, they yeeted my account, and people will know, oh, my account got yeeted. You know what I'm saying? So I've gotten to that point where I can at least, you know, if they destroy my account, rebuild some of it. So I'm like, I'm playing with house money. I'm a new creator. I can grow with a platform. I've gotten to the point where if I do get knocked down, I can reach out to enough people to know, let people know what happened. I have enough content that I can repost it, but not so much that it would be a super chore. I'm good. And I still personally have not made my magnum opus as far as video or music. I haven't even released any music. So I'm playing with like house money. Like for Vigilante Williamson, nothing of value has been lost at all. Nothing of value has been lost. Ooh, that's a good question. And I'll research it real quick, Roof Korean. Roof Korean welcomes our new communist overlord, says at Vigilante Williamson in the chat, does the book 1984 fall under historical value, Creative Commons fair use? And I will do a little research to check that out. And you know what I'm going to use to fucking research it? I was about to open up a new tab. I'm going to fucking use Brave. Beautiful book. Let's see. Let's see. I'm sorry about stop. Sorry about stop talking. About stop talking. That's how you speak. That's how you speak English. No, sorry that I stopped talking. I'm trying to see. What is it called? Public domain. I'm just trying to see if it's public domain. How old is the book? I'm not sure if it's in public domain. Oh, 19. If you're in the UK, I think the book is already in public domain. So it's public domain in Europe. I don't know about the US. But Kira says it's public domain in the UK as of this year. So if you're in, but you're in Massachusetts, so I don't know about the US. But for anyone in Britain, oh my god! So I know I don't have this up because I'm in a different browser. I hate Kira sometimes when you go in another tab. Will you please sign in? No, motherfucker. Can I see what the fuck it's saying? So it looks like it is public domain in other different countries. Okay, I'm trying to research, and I can't look at the chat right now because I'm just looking at the thing. Okay, I guess it got in the and in 2020 it was in the public domain. That's ironic. The 1984 became public domain in 2020. So yeah, it is. It looks like it's public domain. 1949 is written in 1949. Cool. Nina Infinity has hit 1K subs, and I just the other night I gave her and Jane Theory the nickname Infinite Theory. So hopefully they do a channel under Infinite Theory or something under that. Would be cool to do an audio book of fan film using current day news clips. So yeah, you can do that. You can do that, Roof Korean. I think that's fair. That's fair use. I think you have fair use to do that. Because they have I think it's hit public domain. So shout out to Nina Infinity. Congratulations. Shout out to Brutal Morningwood. George Orwell was Russian. So, but I mean, I guess it's not a universal thing. Apparently, it's already public domain in Russia. It just became public domain in the UK and the EU as of this year, and it has already been public domain in the US as of last year. That's just my quick research. That's what it said. So, you may want to do a little bit more deep diving than that. But my quick research, and I can let me get the tabs up to show you what I found. Give me a second, and let me not dox myself because I got like a trillion fucking tabs up. It's part of the reason I'm just going with the Arthur Fleck. He's not Joker, but the Arthur Fleck avatar. So let's see here. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. Okay, Georgia was Russian. Orville Nation was talking about that, huh? Did someone else have a similar idea? Uh-oh. Somebody else told the idea. Hey, just do it. Fuck it. Listen, Coke and Pepsi both exist, and RC Cola still exists too. Doesn't matter if somebody else do it, just do it again. Fuck it. It's your version. Shit. Just do your own shit. Fuck it. Shit, there's a Doomcock, there's a Cecil, there's all these motherfuckers, but it's still a Vigilante Williams. I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. Shit. But all right, yeah. As far as the public domain of George Orwell, this is a Kira, so this is as accurate as Kira. It says we're going to public domain in most of the world. In the U.S., oh no, it's 2044. Never mind for the U.S. But in the UK after 2020, in the U.S., no. Huh. So then the question becomes fair use. So I'm wrong. That's why you shouldn't listen to a fat guy in a mask. So in the UK, no, this says it is. It would be public domain because the simultaneous publication provision. So, sheesh. This is saying because it's entering public domain in the UK, it would be. So you know what? Fuck me. I have no idea if 1984. You might want to consult Ricada Law about this because now we have conflicted information. Because this is implying because it has entered public domain in all these other countries, it would enter public domain in the U.S. Or because it entered. This is what this says. It says the book enters the public domain in the UK as of January 1st, 2021, and because of the simultaneous publication provision, must and does enter the public domain in the U.S. on the same date. The book is already in public domain in Russia, in the British Commonwealth outside the UK. It will enter the public domain January 2021 or January 21st, 2021 in the EU as well. So that is what Kira says. And I guess the wiki is saying this. So you may want to go ahead and do your research. The George Orwell right to 1984 is set up for the government. So I don't know about that. But yeah. So I guess somebody else did have the same idea. Parrot, no, Ruth Korean asked. Yes, Parrot had then. So yeah. But yeah, Lego and a million other knockoffs. Don't let that stop you, shit. It's just how it goes. Our technocrat rulers will show us benevolence as long as we stay silent and hell Lord bribing. Well, that ain't happening. Dystopia has never looked so fashionable. No, it's time to rebel. But you don't have to rebel violently. This is non-violent shit. I'm not fighting no fucking civil war for none of these dweebs. Animal Farm. Listen. I didn't read my fucking quote from Discord. I don't know if I read it. I don't know if I read the full thing. I was talking. Yeah, I didn't read the full thing. I was talking about the Commonsgate thing. I never even got to the full point. But I was talking because let me give the context of my quote that I forgot to read because I'm a fucking tangent, man. Some criminal ass lawyer officer sitting on the copyright 1984. How fortuitous. Yeah. Speaking of lawyers, parlor lawyers abandoned them. Ain't Lynn Wood a lawyer? Ain't Ricada Law a lawyer? There's other lawyers outside of those motherfuckers. Like, the world is not going to end. So this is what I said. At first I said in reference to everything that's going on. So I think Comicsgate with 74 to 80 million people, probably more than that. Instead of comics, there are platforms. Indie server farms will rise. A Coinbase alternative to use crypto for banking and payment processing, because that's another way they try to get people with the payment processing. It's another way to try to unperson these platforms and unperson, Laura Loomer. But they try to take away your banking information. I'm like, well, in the crypto age, we can still get around that. But they reply. I'm not gonna say who replied because they actually were in the chat. But he said, we may not have enough time because look about what Parler. And I said, humans have overcome slavery, Holocaust, famines, actual plagues, and depending on what you believe, extinction level events from God. Free speech is not going to die because of some cucks, an elderly person, and a thought hate an orange person. It may suck in the short term, but too many people are pissed off for alternatives not to spring up. And if I can figure out all this stuff, somebody smarter and richer with more connections can as well. So, it may, the night is always darker before the dawn. Chill. 2 feet good, 4 feet bad. I'm not accepting this 2 + 2 = 5 bullshit. I'm not accepting this all animals are equal except more are equal to others. Fuck that. Over my dead motherfucking body. Indeed. If all the Trump folks cared as much as they think they do, they'd stop paying taxes, and that is not violent. Exactly. There are ways around this. Stop paying taxes. Then what? Oh, shit. 100 million people didn't pay taxes. That sucks. How the fuck are they going to arrest 100 million people? Some are, yeah. Except some are, yeah, I know what I mean. Hell, Nick Weiser. 32 flavors of Nick Weiser. Please sub. Sub to everyone. Sub to Kate as well. Forgot to sub. You guys sub there. It's been an impromptu kind of stream, just me giving my thoughts on everything, real laid back. All is not lost. Everybody's freaking out. Like I said, humanity has gotten over way worse than fucking Twitter going down or fucking Parler going down. A few fucking technocrats who are scared. The elite are scared shitless. Jesus Christ. Imagine if that wasn't old ladies with flags. What then? Imagine if that is, if it's not just Antifa acting, but Antifa acting like Antifa. What then? I'm not worried about these motherfuckers. I know they're going to use, let me see, 1984, Animal Farm were on my school reading list. I'm no dinosaur. I think they're going to be taken off of a lot of school reading lists, these fucking socialists. The elites are going nuts, but they're doing so out of fear, bro. I know a lot of people don't think that way. A lot of us feel pretty frightened right now. We're like, man, look what they're doing in the Orange Man. That's another reason I think he's control ops. I think they're going to use this Illuminati shaming ritual to scare us. But man, we have a lot more power. You think that, but I think whenever the next president is not them is elected, they're going to go nuts again. Now, here's the thing. That's 4 years is a long time. The left eats their own. In the next 4 years, all of these mainstream media sources have a lot of these things have signed their death note, right? Do you trust mainstream media? No, neither do about 80 million motherfuckers. So that's 80 million motherfuckers who are never going to look at another Washington Post article, who are never going to look at another New York Times article, who are never going to look at another CNN television show, who are never going to look at Fox News. A lot of them. Not even to see Tucker. They're not gonna. So those mainstream media people who freak out, they're gonna be less powerful. They're never gonna read any of that. They're just done. They're done. They're pissed off. They're gonna go out of their way to make sure they don't read it. And we have to go out of our way to make sure we don't read them. And then on top of it, the left are again going to eat their own. They're going to do something to piss off their radical base. The radical base that they've tried to shit on many a time. They eventually, and there's not going to be any orange man they could use as a shield. So they're going to end up eating their own. So by the time we go 4 years, we could have a country similar to what happened with Bush, where that's the part of the reason Obama was he looked like manna from heaven after Bush. People forget about that. People were like, no, we can't go with this. Everybody was pretty united with that. And I can see that similar against the left, especially if you have a less Trumpy, people want Trump to run again. That would be a nightmare. Let him, it's okay. It's okay. I never read most classic books, but a lot of plays. It was an art school. That's cool. All these schools are fake anyway. They control your bank accounts. Going down the rabbit hole is much easier to climb back. These cycles of liberty, tyranny are old as time. The elites are fearful, and that makes them irrational. Yet they control our bank accounts. But bro, I mean, all right, if they start fucking with people's bank accounts, that siege is happening for real, for real. If they want to take it there, I'm not trying to be this could be a designated survivor real quick if they try that game. Illuminati shaming ritual. Now he's like, I'm not sure if he's applauding, like laughing, or applauding, like, yeah, he does get it. Next year is going to be nuts. Fuck. R is going to have 5K. Eric, you talking about Eric July Ripper? He'll have 5K in the next month, the way he's going on. Yeah, remember when Bush is still Satan to me. And so is Ellen DeGeneres. Speaking of Illuminati shaming rituals, Ellen DeGeneres and George Bush, geesh. Illuminati confirmed. Oh shit, Kane? The Big Red Machine 2024? Ooh, maybe. It's gonna be Kane. And irrationality is dangerous. No reason to be fearful. Every reason to be alert and mind your surroundings. That's what Ra's al Ghul told Bruce. Mind your surroundings, Bruce. He learned at the end of the movie. It's gonna be Kane. Kane chokeslams Pelosi. Yeah. He is absolutely still Satan. He absolutely is. I can get off this article on his pretty face. He's absolutely still Satan. With this reading the My Pet Go upside down, trying to play dumb, man. That's what I mean. And if do you think those buildings blew up, man? Undertaker for VP. He's a Texas guy. Yeah. Undertaker for VP, man. He's a Texas guy. I don't know what his politics are, but I'm assuming they're pretty right leaning. You know what I mean? He's an old school Houston, Texas biker. We can do a lot worse than Undertaker, than the Brothers of Destruction in the White House. I'm telling you. Dave Portnoy, Kane in 2024. Hell Finner. Oops, I missed. Hell Finner. Kate says Dave would be cool. I'll be honest, I'm not 100,000% familiar with Dave Portnoy. But yeah, I mean, we can do a hell of a lot worse than the Brothers of Destruction as the fucking president and vice president. But I mean, part of me, and this is where maybe I'm just sipping that Ripper, that Ripper iced tea. But man, I would love to just decentralize this federal government and it not really matter who the fuck the president is. Yeah, I know Taker's definitely conservative or libertarian. Yeah, he just gives that vibe. He probably is maybe even libertarian. He just gives that vibe. He just wants to have his shit. And he's not a guy. Yeah. So R says he's a good guy. I have to look into him. I've already contributed to the Ripper 2044 fund. He said he'll run maybe when he's in his 50s. So I did the math. I'm contributing. I'm the first person to contribute to the Ripper 2044 fund. And I think that's something to think down the line. And that's why I think Eric July is right. We have to win the culture war. This trying to worry about these damn politician demons, they're all self-serving. We have to switch the culture up. We have to change the culture up. Since the path to citizenship is in the first 100 days, I'm debating going to Texas and crossing the border and declaring myself at the sanctuary city in mass to get a new identity and a better credit score. Well, I mean, sure, why not? Why not, man? Agree, done with the system. Yeah, and we can be done with the system. It has never been more mainstream now. What they've just done is make being done with the system completely mainstream and completely normal. And again, the left will eat its own and add more to that fire. They will add more to the fire. There are progressives who will get eaten up and they'll be like, man, this is all bullshit, man. And they're like, what are you guys doing? They'll come along. People will come along. The left will eat its own. By the end of this 4 years, unless they have put brainwave slugs on us and are manipulating our minds directly, which is not out of the realm of possibility, unfortunately. But unless that happens, I think the left will have destroyed itself so much that anybody will be looking like manna from heaven in 2024. But I don't want the orange man. I think we can do a lot better. I think we need to start getting at our local governments in our states, in our cities, and that's where this is won. It's not one. Who gives a shit about the president? Who gives a shit even about a lot of the if we have the mayors and when I say we, it's not the Republicans. I don't give a fuck about that. I just want common sense, logical human beings who care about the freedoms and liberties of people. That's it. Oh no, I already said that. So, okay, Dave Portnoy talks with a foul mouth, but he's super intelligent. AOC threatened to challenge his arguments and importantly accept it, and she went quiet since. Well, she does that. I know she's on the evil waifu list. I'll have to let her know to just don't start no shit, won't be no shit. But that's her gimmick. She talks shit, and then when you buck up, she runs away. That's her gimmick. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've went an hour just ranting and rambling about what I want. But as far as the Republicans, I have this to say:
they are dying. Let them die.
We don't need them. Get rid of them. Let them go. Let them fall. Oh yeah, Fenrir has it. Yeah, or the coof gets blown in his face. Something, unfortunately. I think we know that's coming. Hopefully they don't do that to him and they at least just, use the 25th to get rid of him. And just let him live the rest of his days on pasture. The size of the federal government is a problem. Elections shouldn't be about our civil liberties. Being up for vote every 4 years, this is madness. Local governments need to detach from the beast. Exactly. We have to decentralize. It's one at home. I hate this town. So then we need to look to move. Hey, I'm trying to move. Everybody's got to look. Bettering yourself is the best thing you could do for your country or for what you believe in. It starts at home. And if you hate your home, then we got to work towards moving. I got to do the same thing. Even though I don't hate this place. I'm in the Carolinas to semi-dox myself. It's not bad, but I'd really rather Texas, especially if Texas happens. As they should. I'm not sure what that part is in reference to. When Klein says they should. AOC is actually smart. Smart people know when to talk and when to keep their mouth shut. Listen, AOC is the most dangerous woman on earth. She's the most dangerous woman on earth with all the charisma and all the people that believe in her. She knows her limitations is right. She's not smart. She doesn't say smart things, but she's a smooth motherfucker, man. And she's on my evil waifu list. And so a lot of being easy on the eyes, which, I mean, she's aging bad, man. Those politics are putting years on that ass. But, like, being easy on the eyes is a beneficial thing. Make no mistake. As Ripper said, Republicans are progressives that go the speed limit. And, yes, let them die. You know what you get. You get what you fucking deserve, Republicans. You guys get what you fucking deserve. Seeing the GOP burn, oh, man, I love it. I love it. Bribing isn't long for his rule. No, I was never... This has always been the Harris administration as sponsored by China to me. If I call it the Biden administration, please correct me. It's a Kumala horse. Could be Epstein. I hope they don't do that to him. I'm a human being. Like, okay, he said all his racist shit. He's a racist piece of shit and he's a demon. But I don't want people they don't got to do it like that. They got amendments. You know what I mean? Don't do that to, if you're looking progressive demons, have some fucking sanctity, man. It's just don't. That's the last thing the country needs is another president just getting. Don't do that to him. You know what I mean? I just for the humanity. I even put old whore faces. Old whore face. Come on, don't do that to him, sweetie. Evil waifu. Evil waifu. Don't do that to him. Don't do that. That's fucked up. It may go that way. It may go that way. Get your name real quick. It may go that way. So yeah, Biden could be that, and Harris takes over. I'm hoping the evil waifu doesn't do that. There's a 25th Amendment. Just say he's too old. He can't handle it. Let him be sick and live his years out. Good God. 80% of your ACAM taxes are paid as payroll tax. Have you ever noticed that everyone has to have direct deposit? If your job requires direct deposit, you really can't stop paying. Yeah, that's how it goes because it's a fucking scam. She's a pawn, but still, good old Camel Toe Harris. Hope that doesn't happen either. Yeah, but I wouldn't pass him. I don't put it past him either. Joe would fall down the stairs. I imagine she would just walk up, hey, Joe, and just blow coof into his face. And then all of a sudden, yes, one big club. Thank you, RR. The Demonkins, the Republicrats. I call them, or the Demonkins and Republicrats. I call them what do I call them? The Democrats and Republicans, but you mix their names. whichever. It's one big club and we ain't in it. The George Carlin quote. It's going to be wild next couple of decades, so buckle up. We'll make for some great stories for those of you who will have grandkids. Yeah, the human condition has been through some crazier shit than this. Falling and I can't get up. Or send people over. This just let me know the stream element bots is running. They know they stopped. You know, by the way, I forgot. I'm a capitalist. I don't ask for money. I am ask for money. Oh, I just dropped in. Your avatar made me vomit. Thanks, VW. Yeah, evil waifu Kamala Harris. We were talking about bribing, and they were talking about the evil waifu was just gonna. I'll just put the comment back up, and I'm like, I know she's a demon. Sorry, Toxic Man Fu. I know she's a demon, but don't do that to him. That's not necessary. Okay, I don't want you to get sick, man. I don't want you to get sick. Let's switch it out. Yeah. But yeah, it's one big club. We ain't in it. But you know what? They've shown their hand and they've lost their trump card. We don't need this orange avatar. We need us. We can defund the system slowly but surely. We can create other systems slowly but surely. And we do not give up. I'm gonna stop with the hardcore politics. I'm gonna crack my jokes. But I'm not gonna be covering it, but I'm not gonna stop the culture war shit. And that's where the fucking wars won anyway. That's how they won this war. They created a dependent society. I'll break it down how they did it, and then I'll probably stop to prep for the comics division stream. So around 10, you can join us on there. I'm not sure who else is going to be on the stream. I never know. I'm a newbie, so I'm just happy to anyone streams with me. But it started in the education system back when we were kids. What did you want to do? You want to get through the indoctrination system so you can go to college and pay them a whole bunch of money to go through that indoctrination system so you can get a good job at a corporation. That's how they got you psychologically dependent on leftism, because all of that is requiring a bigger institution to do a lot of the direction for you instead of, I'm going to go to this to learn the skills to create my own. I'm going to go to one system to be dependent on another system to go to another system and work for them. And then they told you, as far as your culture, all of these celebrities are who you should worship and who you should pay attention to. And these are the drivers of culture while controlling them. And then they had the media where they control narratives. You know what I mean? They use the media to control narratives. And they also kept doing this thing where they will keep harkening back to the civil rights movement to make anything they wanted. As far, the gay rights thing was huge when I was younger, to make it equated with the civil rights. And I'm not trying to disrespect any LGBTQ people or talk ill of their plight. I'm just saying that's what they did. They wanted to use that was their first time using proxies. And so this is all, the 90s and 2000s I'm talking about, when they did this to set the groundwork for where we have now, to when then social media comes up and you've already incentivized people to always look forward for this progressiveness. You want to, this is our civil rights era. We want to be the right side of history. And then the social media thing, and it allowed people to brainwash themselves, allow people to become mind cults. It allowed, and it still has the same framework of go to this indoctrination system, go pay another indoctrination system and a boatload of money, and then go to the school and then worship these people that you see on the screen. And they use that system to brainwash people to have a certain worldview. And another thing is, go to a big city. If you're from one of these small rural towns, you don't want to be in one of these shitty small towns. Go to a big city. And the way big cities have to be governed is different because of the infrastructure issues. So that's how they changed the worldview of so many people. It was the education system, the entertainment system, social media, and the city, the institution of the city, and the belief that the city is better. All your critics love you in New York. All your critics love you in New York. Okay, we can start our own club, the Island of Misfit Toys Club, the Island of Misfit Clubs. Tonight, I make comics let me on. Tonight, I need to practice for when I release the full society. Maybe I should rethink that tagline. Maybe you were never told to do that. Good. That then your parents raised you right, because that's a bullshit system. I got some LOLs. cannot remember because I try to fly through my jokes. I don't want to wait for people to laugh, so I don't admit, and I don't know what the delay was, so I'm not sure what you're laughing at. But hopefully you guys are entertained. But yeah, it's just a bullshit system. It was and you know, I'm sure every person wasn't a part of that whole system, but that was the plan to create this leftist worldview that we have. And so that took 20 years to create, you know, millions of leftists through the indoctrination camps and the entertainment camps. It's gonna take some time to undo a lot of that program, and some people will be lost, but that's on them. We create our own club. We can be independent. We can be independent on the system and not have to live on it. That's all that really matters. And we can create states that have stronger governments, and whether we all move to Texas, we all move to Idaho or South Dakota, whatever. You ever check out? I've never heard of People's Cube. Have you ever checked out the People's Cube? I have not, and it's apparently hilarious. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. But that's it. I wanna wrap up. I gotta get it on the comics division. I'm getting kind of tired. And I appreciate everyone who's stopped by. It's a very impromptu stream. I was gonna put the tip thing, but you know, well, if ever I get more viewers and more subs, I'll start the tip jar thing. So shout out, apparently Nina Infinity has hit over 1,000. Let's I'll watch her video so she can get over whatever watch time she needs to do so she can be monetized in this platform. And hopefully they do the infinite theory thing I suggested with her and Jane Theory. Shout out to Roof Korean, RR, Rowan Ginger Raven, 32 Flavors of Nick Wise. Who else was in there? Parrothead. I feel like other people. Oh, Fimmer, the Ice Wolf was in here. Just Another Red Shirt, who's not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt. Raven Star, Claw was in here. Is anybody else that I missed who showed up? If you did, blame my head, not my heart. Brutal Morningwood also showed up for a little bit. And if you're here lurking, you know, thank you. Please like the video. You haven't liked the video. Please share the video. Please share. That's the only way anyone's going to grow on this platform at all is if you share. You know, I have 100 and some odd subs. That has all come from people sharing my stuff, and that's all come from hopping on these streams and people say, "Hey, sub to Vigilante Wins." None of that has really come from my content itself. It's all come from people who's pushed me, who's cared about what I've said. You know, thank you for saying. You know, I do try to speak from the heart. And so please, you know, sub to me if you can, sub to everybody else and share. You know, that's the only way we're going to grow. I'm on Minds and Gab at Vigilante Williamson. I'm still on Twitter, Vigilante Will 34. So if you want to hit me up on there, but get on Minds. I would say Minds is easier to get on than Gab. It took forever to get on Gab, but I'm on both. So, you know, we don't need these motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Where am I? I don't give a fuck. Yo, Bernie, I don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers ain't scaring shit. The fuck they think this is? Okay. I'm talking about my butts. Okay, this is getting out the hand. Yeah, red shirt's probably out. But all right, I will see everybody later. Peace.